Hey, everyone. How you doing? This is Chris from, Touchdown&Tackles, your host. How you guys doing today? So today I want to talk about how, everybody and a lot of these analysts on these sports networks are sitting here talking about the Cowboys as a Super Bowl contender. Look, I like the moves that they actually made this offseason. I like that they've had a quiet offseason. There was no drama in terms of, having to sign a big-time player. You didn't have Jerry Jones saying some wild things as he normally does. He just let the football people handle football stuff. And like I said, I like a lot of their moves. I like the draft picks. I like Caleb Downs, who I thought was arguably the best player in the whole entire draft. To me, he's the best defensive player in this draft that just happened. I like them drafting Malachi Lawrence, a young power pass rusher. I have some juice to add along with Rashad Gary, a veteran pass rusher. Donovan Ezeraku, a young speed rusher off the edge, getting more depth. Jayshon Barnum, a linebacker, a do-it-all linebacker to play with D. Winters and Demarion Overshown to help that linebacking core. They made really good moves to upgrade that defense, and obviously I think the biggest move was them hiring young defensive coordinator Christian Parker, the secondaries coach from the Eagles, and what he is going to do with this defense. Signing Quentin Williams to a big extension, I love it. George Pickens is behaving, playing under the franchise tag, so he's playing for a big contract, so I won't be surprised if he has another similar year to last year or even better. Dak is a top 10 quarterback, and they have a good running game. But we got to see how that defense comes together. All reports are showing good things in training camp right now, but we got to see if that defense is going to come together like a lot of people think. And they're always saying, the Cowboys only got to get to average. They got to be a top 16 to top 20 defense because of how explosive that offensive is. And yes, we have seen in the past, we've seen teams win the Super Bowl with average defenses or ranking in around 20 or 18 or 19. Yes, we've seen it throughout history, but it's not like it's something we've seen consistently. So let's just be very careful of saying all they got to do is just be average. Just be average. Got to be very careful with that. Because then that puts so much pressure on the offense to make sure that they're always performing at their best. And we know how an NFL season can go where, any team is going to have their up and downs. And then two, we got to see who's going to win that starting left tackle battle. Because that is a concern on that Cowboys offense. We know that they're great to good everywhere else on that offensive line. So let's just wait and see how that defense comes together. Let's see who becomes the starting left tackle. And let's see if they make a big move and, say, go after Max Crosby at the trade deadline. So I like the moves the Cowboys made, and I think they will be a playoff team this year. So let's just wait and see how everything comes together. Because if that defense can be what I think it can be, and then let's say they add Max Crosby, they could be a top 12, top 13 defense. They can be in the better half of the league. And everybody knows how explosive that offensive is. And also, too, let's just see if the Cowboys can win a playoff game and at least get to the NFC Championship game before we have putting them in the Super Bowl and making them Super Bowl contenders, because the NFC is no joke in terms of how tough it is. I mean, come on, look at the division the Cowboys are in. This could potentially, if every team is playing their best and everything works out for every team in the NFC East, you're talking about 4 teams that can all win 9 to potentially 11 games. Now, I'm not saying all teams are going to do that, but you could have a division where every team is above 500. So, they got their own division to worry about. Then you got the NFC North and the fact that all 4 of those teams can do the same thing. And then you got the NFC West with the defending Super Bowl champions with the Seahawks. You got the Avengers team that everybody's calling the Rams with the moves they made. And then you got the 49ers. The NFC South, probably a team will win that division with 9 or 10 wins, because, I mean, every team in that division has questions. So all I'm saying is, even in their own conference, be careful, because the NFC is going to be a monster. So like and subscribe to the page, everyone. And I will see you guys next time.